Hi, this is Miss Young. I am your student's 10th grade ELA teacher this year. I either have them in my regular general class or my honors class. So we're off to a good start. This is week 7 of school. We are getting used to a new normal. So some of the things that I want to share with you to expect work-wise in this class, one is that my class is learning centered and not necessarily assignment centered. I know a lot of students are in the habit of, hey, Miss Young, or whatever teacher they're chatting with, I'm going to be out tomorrow. Can you tell me what assignment I need to do? Well, this doesn't always, being absent doesn't always equal an assignment. Your students have an English notebook. In their notebook, we do a lot of notes, a lot of assignments that they'll keep in their notebooks and they'll turn in at the end of the 9 weeks. This 9 weeks, that notebook is due October the 13th, 2 days before the 9 weeks ends. So when a student is out, they actually more so miss a learning experience than an assignment because we're not necessarily assignment based. Students sit in groups of 3. I coined them desk buddies. And with their desk buddies, they do a lot of collaboration and critical thinking. That information sometimes is shared out whole class. Sometimes those discussions turn into notes. So when students are out, of course, they can't copy anyone else's notes because those notes are work products. So for my quarantined students, I am a teacher who is willing to Zoom, so they can request if we're doing something that day that they shouldn't miss. They could request to Zoom in, and I will do that for them. They know that they need to have at least a 24-hour notice unless it's an emergency to make sure that I've sent them out the proper information. So that is the difference between maybe some classes and my class, is that every single day they are not turning in an assignment. We are focused on learning, collaborating, digging into a text, pushing out conversations that's based on standards. The other thing is, if your student has me for second or third period, they should have a library book, and they also do a weekly reading log. So go ahead and ask them about that library book and their reading log. They should be reading 30 minutes each night. The text that we are currently reading in class for my second and third period is the play A Raisin in the Sun. For my first, fourth, fifth, and sixth, I had to think about that. We are currently reading a novella called The Metamorphosis. For those students, this will be the first week that they will be responsible for independent reading. That information is on Canvas for them. As I've been engaging with parents and students, I know that a lot of parents, because it's just something that we're used to, look on Focus for their student updates or grades, and that is the correct place to look. However, you also need, if you can, to go ahead and be an observer for Canvas, because by the time the grade get to Focus, the student has already received a 0. So when you become an observer in Canvas, that means that you can see the assignments. When I assign them, you can see what the student is supposed to do and all those things. So it's best to have Focus and Canvas. And when you are using Focus, the one thing that I do ask is to make sure when you go into Focus, say that your student has an 87 in my class. Please click the hyperlink under the 87 so that you can actually go into the class. For the assignments, I give an abbreviated synopsis of what the assignment is. I try to tell parents and give the information of, this is when the assignment was due. This is how long the students had to do the assignment. Did we start the assignment in class, or was it total individual? How much of whole class and teacher assistant was given up front? Generally, students get a 48-hour grace period for late assignments. This is not 100% assignments, and they know the assignments that have no grace period. So it'll tell you actually when the assignment locks, when it was due, when it locks, and when I assigned it. This is important to note that if your student received a 0, the information of why they received a 0 is probably in focus. Other than that, it's because the student didn't turn in the missing assignment. And because I do not give homework that's assigned and then due the next day, the expectation is that they get those assignments on time because they have a lot of time to do the assignment. Even if the assignment shouldn't take but an hour, they still have 5-7 days to do it. When it comes to communication, most of the students will contact me on Remind, but they have all of the information. It's on the syllabus, and if you scroll down this homepage, that information is at the bottom of your homepage too, in all the ways that I could be contacted. My normal tutoring hours are from 2 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. However, I have let the students know, and it's on this homepage, that if those hours and times do not work, that the student is to set up a time outside of those hours with me to make sure that they could complete all of the things that they need, if they need help with an assignment or if they have to make up a test and all of that stuff. We are getting to the point of the year where we are getting ready to push forward. Students have developed a routine in class, so we are getting ready to push forward to make sure that we cover all the things that we need to. The process and the way of work will gradually become more challenging for some students, and when they get stuck or when they feel like they're frustrated, they can, number one, reach out to me. Number two, just build in some ways that they can take a break and release some of the stress and anxiety they have about work, and make sure that they're not procrastinating, so that they get everything turned in a timely fashion, so they don't feel like they're doing everything and it's just on them. I am always open for questions and anything that you need in regards to your student. I am excited about the year ahead of us and the things that the students will be able to do and achieve in this class. I hope that this helped you. As you go through the PowerPoint, I try to give you more information that is vital to the success of your student in this class. And while I know you as the parent want your child to succeed, so do I. And if there's anything that I can do at any time for you or for your student, please reach out to me and let me know. Bye. This is Ms. Young signing off.